Morgan, welcome to another session. And last time, I got to know a lot about you, about your adventures, about your profession, and the travel part. This time, we have picked one topic, and I think we want to detail it out so that audience can take out things from it and apply in their day-to-day life if it is possible, if it is feasible in tough times. So as we decided, the topic of the day is when life turns upside down, finding inner grounding in the time of crisis. Let's detail it out in this session. So over to you.
Yes. This is, I thought about this topic because this is what I have in my people come across all the time. In everyday life, things happening, either, it could be small things, but it's also what I see in my practice. It is serious things happening in life, but it's also it could be anything. But often I get cases where life just feels overwhelming because suddenly someone feels that work is falling apart or not good. Then relationship falls apart, and sometimes it can happen all at once. And what people often say, or a feeling of everything is falling apart, it's broke. Something is broken, and I don't know how to fix this. I don't know how to handle this. Everything is just overwhelming, and it could also be loss, grief. Depression, self-worth issues. Also, that's leading to this feeling that life is falling apart. And but there are, I mean, it's difficult to think like this in the moment, or when it's happening. But we can, with practice, when we know and understand this, we can easily navigate this. And this is all about experience. When this is an experience, it opens up. It's like a crisis. It's an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity to become more of who we are. And also, what we often forget is that these experiences, it happens for a reason, because something is not right. Work is not going well. Well, it's the reason why it's not going well. It could be many things, but maybe it's not right for us. But maybe we are just clinging to it. Maybe we are just adapting to the comfort because we are avoiding discomfort or going out of our comfort zone. It's the same with relationships. It's a little bit different with loss, trauma, grief. But again, there could easily be an avoidance of feeling the pain, because we all want to be happy. We all want to be happy, and we're trying to be happy. We are doing everything we can to be happy. But then, of course, if it's not right, we are not going to feel happy because something is not right. And this is actually our mind, body, and soul trying to tell us something. This experience, whatever we are feeling, thinking, it's trying to tell us that, okay, we have to do something. In the relationship breakup, what I usually suggest is that don't worry about the outcome. It's what is happening now. What is happening now? It doesn't mean don't worry too much about if this relationship doesn't work out, but what can we do here and now?
Got it.
And that's a good starting point, because otherwise, very often we become so overwhelmed. It's chaotic. It's confusing. We don't know what to do. So the first thing we need to do is we need to connect to ourselves again. We need to connect to our mind and body, and we need to focus on what matters. okay, what can I do here and now? And then we become more present, because when there is chaos, crisis, and we are in deep, deep pain and don't know what to do, we kind of lose ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We lose ourselves to all of this. So we need to create calm. So you can say it's a storm. It's a storm and the sail is not up, the sail has collapsed, and we are going in all kinds of directions, and we feel like we are drowning. So what do we do? It is really quite simple. It feels like this huge inner conflict, and it is. But then we are also fighting that. We are fighting the outer, and we are fighting the inner. So how do we gain control, some sort of control, because that's what we need when people feel out of control in a crisis situation. And this is what we can learn with awareness. Practicing awareness and mindfulness, we learn to to feel in control, because feeling helplessness is something that we do, but the more in control we feel, the less, if I can say, damage, the less chance there is of, for example, developing PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Only a small percentage will develop that. Most people, even when they come to me, they say, I didn't have any control. But then I say, but you did. Look what you did. And then they handle the crisis in a wonderful way. They couldn't have done anything different, but there was that feeling that you're out of comfort zone, but you are still in a crisis mode and doing some things that you would never usually think you could do. So that feeling of control in a crisis is very important, even though it often feels like you don't have any control. But most people do. If they don't, they will break down in a psychosis. But most people don't. Then they need a completely different help, because then they're out. Psychosis is when you lose reality. Your mind, it goes. It doesn't work anymore. But most people in a crisis, they have their mind. They can do things, but they feel they can't do. And so then we can give some ideas about what can you do, because it's different. Often when we get used to this and we practice this over a long time, this feeling of control or wanting control becomes an illusion of control.
Right.
But that's further down the line when you have experience of working with this, because control is kind of an illusion. But at the same time, we need to feel we have control, right? And it's like when I arrived to New Delhi now, this time. I came on the bus, 4 a.m., and I didn't worry at all. I just was feeling very joyful, happy. Okay, 4 a.m., this is going to be interesting. Okay, I'll just hang around on the street. Okay, in Delhi, no worries. And I got off the bus, and I walked maybe 10 steps, and there was this man sitting on the bench opposite like a little store. And he said, okay, hello, do you want a chai? And then right afterwards, this Rinpoche comes. I had seen him getting onto the bus, but we've had no connection. And this turned, it was like thinking back to it, it's such a beautiful moment where it is warmth, grace, welcome. And we sat there until the Gompa opened, where they, at 5. And we ended up spending 3 hours together. And with that, you don't get that if you plan everything and if you're going to have this control. But that's not in a crisis situation. So then you are calm inside. So then I want to go back to the storm. So when there is a storm, we have to gain some sort of control. Because here, in the moment with the example I'm saying, where I was just totally calm, beautiful. There was no crisis, internal crisis. When there is, it could have been perhaps, who knows? That's when the hotel, when I later in the day came to Noida to meet you, I turned up to the hotel I had booked and they said, sorry, you cannot stay here. We are not registered for foreigners. We don't have a C form. So that could have been one of those, oh my God, I could have I can't imagine having a breakdown from that, but maybe some people do. And panic or get angry. I just had no resistance. There was no reaction inside. And it's so nice when you get to that point where I even, made a joke about it. I said, look, okay. And he said, you have to call booking. I said, why? It's your problem. It's not my problem. And I said, okay, I'll go and sleep on the street. In the moment, I meant it. But that's what I mean. When it is already calm and you feel that, okay, anything that happens, it happens for a reason. It's perfect the way it is. But then back, what do we do then when we are in a storm and we need some help? And that is the first thing. We need some help. And the most important thing is to get help or talk to someone or have support. Many people have family support, others don't. Some have friends that they can talk to, others don't. We can talk to priests, we can talk to psychologists, we can talk to anyone, but it's also very difficult often for people to ask for help.
Right. I think there is a fear of judgment when we are asking for help. And that's how we think that no one is going to understand us, and more importantly, they'll judge us rather than understanding. But I want to ask you, how do you approach this kind of situation when people reach out to you? Like as a psychologist, as a human being, someone is having a bad relationship, they are at the verge of breaking it down, falling apart. They reach out to you, seek for help. What do you talk to them? I want to understand that as well.
Well, like I mentioned, it's we need to calm down. When we are in a crisis, our nervous system is highly activated. We go in overdrive. And we are scared, we don't know what to do. And usually it's because we think about the mind is racing, so many thoughts, very often negative, fear, anxiety, panic. It's like very often people are also in shock. So we shut down, we freeze. And really the first point is to find a way of calming down the nervous system. Again, like I said, to gain that feeling of control. And the way we do that is very powerful, very banal, very simple, and people don't think about it, but the breath. When you think about the breath, prana, it's life energy. And that's breathing is a wonderful way to calm down or regulate the nervous system. That helps. But there's many things that does that, like walking, taking a bath. Water is fantastic in terms of balancing the energy. Balance, when you think about water, is balancing the nervous system. So we need to meet the person where they are and find out, okay, what is it? What's the worst thing? Because that's what people think. What's the worst thing that can happen? So it's finding these fears. What is the worst thing that can happen? And then break it down, really finding back to the moment here and now. Because what happens tomorrow? What happens in 10 days, a week, 10 days, 2 weeks, a month? We don't know. We don't know. But right now, this is what we know. We know that you're in pain, we need to find ways to soothe, calm this. And again, it's very important that this is individual to what people experience. It could be, it's the thinking, the thoughts that's, really racing, very uncomfortable, no sleep, don't eat, totally, non-functioning. Or it's very good, slowly people find their way through it by just taking one step at a time, slowly. And so it's focusing on the breathing, which helps, because if you really focus on the breathing, the thoughts dissolve, because often it's this monkey mind jumping everywhere. It's okay. It's normal. Okay, let the mind go. Okay, we bring it back with focusing on the breathing, because that even helps to regulate the feelings, the emotions, everything calms down. It was like yesterday I talked to a woman. I have already had a few sessions with her, but yesterday she was really crying, and I said, it's good. This is grief. It's grief, and you're connecting with it. It's healing. It's a process. It's transformation. It's all happening. The thing is that people very often, we want to fix it now. This is not something we fix. This is yes, in the end, but it's like the moon. We don't see it growing, do we?
Yeah.
It comes slowly, and we watch it, and wow, there it is. It's like a baby. I actually just saw a little girl the other day, and I thought, wow, soon she will be, a grown-up girl, and here she is. And it's also like a little seedling. We have to remember we are this little seedling, but we forget. And so it's remembering these things, and I know this is a lot, but and this is the point. We need to come back to the here and now. Even noticing me now, I'm here, I'm trying to make a point, and I am already, on far down the line. So I'm now pulling myself back, and this is how we do it, pulling myself back, because now I'm far into the future again, maybe weeks, months of going through this experience, and okay, we need to come back into the moment. Okay, what do I need to do now? And this is what we do. We do this all the time. But now I could catch myself. You notice that I am aware of where I'm going.
Right.
And now coming back. And this is exactly the same when we are in a crisis, but becoming aware when we are working with someone, helping us to become aware. It's like I talked to another client not too long ago. She had a very, very tough time all her life. She was abandoned by her mother, and the mother even tell her that she didn't want her. Fancy saying that. And she was making some kind of reference to that, this client, looking back. Now, that was when she was little, and now she's, I think she's 40 or something. And this is the help we can give. She said, I've been thinking this, and she was going into this mother not wanting her, and she said something, and I just made one point, which she pointed out the next session, which she said that was like a epiphany, like aha moment, like where I said, but she's never been there for you. And because she was making reference to something, which I can't quite remember what she said, but she was making a reference to something about her as a little girl feeling bad about, as if it was her fault. And this is what we often think. And then she realized when I had said, but she was never there for you. She wasn't. And realizing it's these little drips that can help us. But again, this takes time, but it doesn't have to take a long time. It has to align. We have to hit the mark, but we never know. But when we connect to ourselves, we are in the moment like we are now, and we're sharing what is here now. And this is what we need to connect to, what is here now. And then when we connect, which we can do, which we will do a little practice with the breathing, and then we need to, more the focus is also being very diligent with our thoughts, how we think, and becoming aware of what are we saying to ourselves. Because usually we are saying negative things. So we need to, again, look at that and catch the thoughts, bringing us back again. And so we can be more with what's happening, and then we are not avoiding it, because we can't avoid the sea. We have to get through the storm, and we do.
Right.
And we find these ways to do it.
Right. I think this is beautiful, that we should not think to avoid, but we should think to face the storm. You can avoid it once or twice and get out of the situation quickly, but third time, maybe when it will hit you, you'll not know how to avoid it.
And this is a good point, because if we, for example, stay in a bad relationship and intuitively we know this is not good for us, we are going to become depressed. That happened to me. I became very depressed in my marriage towards the end, and I had to face that. And that was a crisis. It was the most difficult thing I've done in my life, to get divorced. But it's a good point of that. It's that there is something not right, but it's difficult. We think about all these things that are going to happen. Again, our mind, what is going to happen, like I said before. And that is also a process. Having the courage to face this pain, and also, what is it? Is this good for me? And realizing that is also a process, and it takes time. That when someone can start to ask you these questions and give you permission, allow yourself to, okay, no, but you know what? It's not okay. It's not okay that someone treats me like that.
Right.
And that's when we go into another level of honoring ourselves, because very often we don't know how to do that. We are not kind to ourselves. We are always pleasing others, being a slave to a work that we have long outgrown, for example, that is not serving us anymore. And that our body, mind and soul tells us this. But people don't realize, because they're not used to think like this. They don't realize, okay, they get afraid. Oh my God, I feel like this. It's something wrong with me. Like this woman. But the sadness, grief, it takes time. And yes, we do cry. It's good. It's a release. It's good. But we also need safety. We need to feel safe. Also, another very, very important thing, also something we have to learn. We need to be held by loving kindness, people that understand us, people that care, that also knows, because this is a very important point, is that if we talk to the wrong people, or people who don't have the skills to know how to navigate these kind of things, it can also harm. And if people are ever, for anyone who listening, if you are ever feeling like that, don't continue, because it's not good. It's if you have this idea of that this doesn't, it's something telling you, your what was called your I can't remember the name. gut feeling.
Yes, gut feeling.
Gut feeling that this is not right. Don't keep going, because here it's something telling you. And this is also, we need to trust ourselves. And very often we don't trust ourselves. We don't listen to ourselves. And like burnout, it's not because we are not doing enough. It's because we are not listening enough. We are not listening. We can work and work and work, have so much energy, work, and like you're working day and night, and it's okay. It's okay when you have that passion and the energy is coming. But if you do this for 10 years, it's a burnout.
Right. I get it. I think being an observer is super important in these kind of situations when you are working so hard. Yes, a lot of people who are passionate about doing work or about doing anything are super, super hardworking and spend a lot of time in their work and less in family, relationships, etc. But one thing I've learned, that being like observing little things, small things, like around yourself, can keep you motivated to do that grind every day. So that grind can burn you out if you are not observing and just running rat race. You are just waking up, doing things, sleeping. So I think one exercise which I do, I think we are talking about crisis, but a lot of crisis in like around us can be avoided if we do some small practices in our day-to-day life. I also believe that, and I'll also ask you to take up that thing, because, so for example, if someone passes away, that's not in our control. Like the natural death or any form of death is not in our control. But conflicts in relationships, conflicts in your own mind, fear of losing anything, I think these things are to some extent are controllable if we apply few things in our day-to-day life. For example, I and my wife, so after working for the whole day, we take a 40-45 minute walk before sleeping.
Wonderful.
And during that walk, we discuss everything which happened in the day, good, bad, how we felt, how are people around us, what can we do to support them, what can we do to grow our business, what can we do to keep ourselves happy. And that's enough. 45 minutes are like 45 hours for us. And then we sleep. We also watch one small nugget of video together before sleeping, a 10 to 15 minute video, any video on YouTube. We watch together, we laugh together, or we cry together if it is emotional, and then we sleep. And I think that's enough to have another hard-working day. What do you think? Like, what's your take on this?
Yeah, for me, I have a religion about yoga. I do yoga. That's something I literally do every day. And it's I have to have a very good reason if I don't do it. And that keeps me in balance. It's grounding. But I also love hiking. So if I can, that's also part of my everyday. Maybe an hour. That's a lot, and it's a lot to, really. But if you really need to do what you're also doing, and what I'm doing, we need to prioritize ourselves. All too often I hear people saying, I don't have time, and they put that last. And then it doesn't happen. I've been there. I've done that for many, many, many years. But now for the last almost 15 years, I've been very diligent. And the thing is, research even shows that if you take 1 hour out, even at lunchtime, you become much more productive.
Right.
So since we are talking about this, it's exercise. We know there's plenty of research showing that it's health and well-being, that it's, for the mind, well-being. It's investing in ourselves. And it's amazing, isn't it, that we are, we put everything else before. And it's so, it may not show now, but when we tip 50 or 60, it's like they say for women over 50, it's very important to do weights. It's like that because you are investing something for when you are 70, 80, 90. But there was a few things I thought about when you shared your what you're doing. It's very important to have routine.
Right.
Routine, I really don't necessarily like routines, but it's also very good. Very good to have routines, and especially when we are in a crisis, to keep doing things. Like the woman I mentioned that was crying yesterday when I talked to an outlet for her is jogging. I also, in my second significant relationship after my divorce, I went through another breakup, which was not my choice this time. And it was very tough. I thought we were going to get engaged, but instead he broke up.
Oh.
So that was, it was a shock. It was just very, very tough. But I was in Vancouver at the time on a clinical placement as part of my psychology degree, doing my master's at that time. And he came to visit me. But I'd never been a runner before. I started running. I ran for 10 years. I really got into running, and I ran 5 days a week after that. And I was transformed. It was amazing. So this people... And after that, I started doing yoga instead and started hiking. Then I found nature, again, which is very important. Nature, because nature does the same thing as breathing. You've got water, we got earth, we have got air. It helps us to breathe. We become present. It's amazing, isn't it, how well we feel with nature or something nice surrounded by nice surroundings. It's like we have to be surrounded by nice people.
Right.
With work, in a relationship that's not working, it's something, it's contracting, it's not expanding. And that's also something to remember for people, for anyone listening, that feel is whatever it is it contracting? Is it like stealing your energy? Is it draining you? Or is it making you feel expanded, joy, happiness? Of course, we can't always be happy. Sometimes things are hard, but is it really worth? We have to find out. And this is why it's good to have someone to work with who can challenge you, who can ask good questions. Is it okay? But is this something you want to work on? Is it something you can live with? Can you grow here? Is it something you can do together? Like you were, when I heard you saying you were watching movie, we're doing this together. Is it working together, or are we on two different planets?
Right. That is super important. Yeah.
You know, it's a long time ago now. I can't remember when that book came out, when men are from Mars and women are from Venus. It's a very good book. It was very, very popular. And when you are not on the same wavelength, either it's work, friends, relationship, partnership, or whatever, then we have to find out if it's worth working on it, or whether the gut feeling is that this is not working.
Right.
And then we have to work through it, find the courage, and then become clear about that. And in a crisis, we should not make any, I'm choosing my word here and saying should. I mean, again, should is one of those, what if, should, I do. I mean, but it's not a good time. I reframe it. It's not a good time to make a decision. First, we must work on ourselves to find that calm, like the sea, calm. And then we can, when we connect to ourselves and we are present, we are more aware of what's going on, then slowly we get the answers, because we are not going to get the answers when we are in total inner chaos.
Right.
It's impossible.
Right.
And if we choose, then it's very easy to decide or choose on something that is not right for us. And you mentioned the word observing. It's also hard when we are in a crisis, unless we are have a lot of experience and used to working with ourselves, like I could do with the examples that I mentioned. Then, we can do it differently. But if we are not used to it, then we need to learn how
to navigate.
And then we really need to slow down. We need to pause. Sometimes we don't always know. Well, the people I often speak to, they don't know, and we don't allow ourselves. So it's giving permission. Even sick leave. People come to me who are super stressed. Like you say, you were saying that it doesn't have to be a crisis, but it could be small things. And this is it. Stress is like something, it doesn't have to be a crisis, but it's slowly building up. It's a tap dripping. Drip, drip, drip. And suddenly this container is overflowing. And that's what stress. We are running after our own tail, and we can never catch up. And then when we are in that situation, then we lose ourselves again. So we need to come back. And then it's recognizing that we need to pause. And often, again, frustration, irritation, sadness, helplessness, I don't want to live anymore. They are all this inner signals. It's our soul, if you like, trying to tell us something. Like this is the end of my trip, almost 4 months away. And when I left, I knew I needed to do something. I needed to go away, but I had a sort of a plan, but it was not set in stone. And I'm so happy that I'm able to be flexible and let things happen, because I spent 6 weeks in Mustang at 4,000 meters in the Himalayas. I had no idea that was going to happen. And it happened as a result of me going to Kathmandu. I met with Rinpoche, and he invited me to go for 2 weeks, and I stayed for 6 weeks. But my point is, I had no idea that that's what I needed.
Right.
I needed a pause. I didn't need a place to be with nice surroundings. I mean, I was in heaven, in the mountains, beautiful place, totally remote, alone. And I got so much inspiration, and I started writing what I think will become another book. But only if I can create that environment where my inspiration can flourish.
Right.
Because at home, I'm too busy with everything. I say yes to this, difficult to say no. And that's the thing. We have to learn how to say no. And it's about boundaries, to say no when we mean no. And okay, sometimes we have to say yes when we mean no, but you know what I mean? It's like...
I know, I understand, I get it.
Again, it's about knowing ourselves and learning to... It's okay. We have to look after ourselves. We have to, otherwise we will not be happy. Everybody wants to be happy. But if we are not cultivating that happiness with thoughts, listening to ourselves, doing what's good for us, not because we are selfish, not because we are egoistic. That's another thing that people are afraid of. They feel so guilty that they are doing something for themselves. But the opposite is, the paradox is, if we don't, we become ill.
Right.
We're depressed, or it can even manifest physically. So we can't buy happiness. We can't buy it somewhere. We can go shopping and feel good for a day, but after that, it's back. There's no essence in it. There's no essence in that. And if we are not working, and this is self-development, this is personal development that comes with years of practice, but it doesn't have to take that long that is taken with me. So when you work with someone who knows this, it actually helps for them to even go faster.
So Birgit, I think the conversation till now has been beautiful. We talked about crisis, how to deal with it, how to think openly, how to find out whether we are in the right relationship or not and all. You've also talked about breathing, and you've mentioned that it is important to breathe, take one step at a time. Let's expand this breathing a bit more, because for a normal person, maybe breathing, the concept of breathing can be simply just taking a breath and then starting again. Is there some technique involved so that it gets better? I want to expand it out with you.
Well, we're always breathing, otherwise we wouldn't be alive.
Yeah, so, that's my question. Because
yes. So, but the difference is when we become conscious of our breathing. So it's very important to practice being conscious of our breath in peacetime. Because when I say peacetime, it's different when we are in a crisis, in a war with ourselves or the world or whoever. So, but when we practice this, it becomes more automatic. So it becomes something that you know and will remember even automatically. It's like brushing our teeth. We do it automatically. We don't have to think that now I have to and think about how we're doing it. We are doing it because we have learned how to do it, and it's automatic. And this is the thing with that I also want to mention, is that our thoughts are very automatic, like a monkey mind. So breathing is also a very nice, easy technique to tame, to become aware of our thoughts and feelings, and to calm down our nervous system, which is very, very important. Because when we are in an acute stress response, we are very activated. Our nervous system is in total tension, and that's normal, and it usually comes down very fast, but sometimes it can stay. If we are in shock, acute state can be last from a week to 2 weeks, but it usually gradually fades off fairly fast, or within the end of 1 week. People should feel more calm and relaxed. And because it's like an animal, they go into fight, flight, and freeze, fight, and then you see not long they're sleeping and totally relaxed. But we human beings are often highly strung. The mind is working totally overtime, going through everything, worry, guilt, have I done something wrong? And this is normal. It's normal, and it's necessary because it's a process. But we will really help ourselves with the breathing. We help the nervous system to calm down faster, and it's necessary. So normally we can notice when we are not in a calm state and very tense, because often it's shallow breathing, and that's when it is with panic attack. We hyperventilate, shallow breathing, and then of course that's gonna fuel the fear, anxiety, and everything, and we are gonna be hyper vigilant. So we need to practice getting the breath down into our tummy. So deep breathing, diaphragm breathing, and it's easy. And as I usually say, put your right hand below your tummy, below your navel. And because it's a reason for that, because then you can also feel your hand, you can feel warmth. And in a crisis, it's very important, even this is called a butterfly. And we actually apparently have some points here that helps to calm down.
Okay.
So we need touch. When we think about children, when they hurt themselves, we say, oh, it's okay, don't worry. Right. This is what we need. We need someone to just be there comforting us and say, it's okay. So this is also a technique that I keep forgetting, but it's like, don't worry, it will be okay. And then you can, because sometimes when you are in a real turmoil and difficult time, it's difficult to do conscious breathing. And then you may just go, and just let it all out. And you can jump, you can dance, take a cold shower, all this with jolt, recharge, reset your nervous system and calm you down. Water is very important. A simple thing, remember to drink water. Coffee will keep you up there. Even it's also important if people are taking medicine. It can also make people very anxious. Anything that will make you anxious is not so good. So this is what happens when I'm explaining. So to get the breath down into your stomach, we breathe mouth closed and breathe in through the nose. And when I breathe in through my nose, my tummy goes out like a balloon.
Right.
You can try it. So we breathe in, mouth closed. My stomach is out. I hold my breath for 2 seconds, 1, 2, and breathe out through my mouth. So we add counting because that helps us to practice slow breathing. So in, count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mouth closed, in through the nose, holding for 2 seconds. 1, 2, and out through the mouth. 6 to 8. And the out breath is relaxing. In breath is again activating the nervous system, and then out. And this people can do about 10 times. In and out 10 times will take less than a minute. And I often hear that people who are perfectionists and worry about, am I doing the right thing or not? It's okay. Then if you notice that you're getting more agitated, then it's not working. Then you need to just let go, relax, and just focus on your breathing. But even in the everyday life, try to just connect. Where is my breath? Am I breathing? Often we hold our breath. So just again, practice mindfulness and awareness. Say, okay, am I breathing? Am I holding my breath? What's happening in my body? Am I having my shoulders up there, or how do I feel? And like you said, you have some routines together at nighttime, but also have some routine for yourselves.
Right.
Check in, journaling, for example, writing down thoughts, things we worry about, making it more concrete is very, very useful. And even if people are not used to writing, okay, that's okay. Then we have to find other ways. But getting these thoughts out, even just saying it out aloud, writing it down on a paper, burning it, even it's a wonderful technique. Looking into a flame, fire, right? Fire is a transformation. And there are so many techniques, but we have to find what's good that will work for that particular person.
Great.
And so if you practice this breathing, it will happen. Some people, they get it and they feel instantly a release. and it's something concrete to work with.
Right.
And again, because then it was the same with this woman I talked to yesterday that was crying, but she felt it was a release, and she felt so much better afterwards. And this is also, again, we are connecting with ourselves. We are calming down, and we can take one thing. It's at the time, it's slow. We don't have to find all the answers. Okay, it's what is important now. What do I have to deal with now? And right now, it's knowing, okay, what do I need now? Okay, I'm tired. Okay, then you need to sleep. Oh, I'm hungry. Okay, we need to eat. I'm thirsty. We need to look after ourselves. If we don't, well, then we will suffer.
Right.
We clinging to something. We want something to happen, and it's not happening. That we are going to suffer. It's this clinging. We want something. It becomes a problem, because then we are just going around and around and around in a negative spiral. So this is what we have to cut. And by focusing on the breathing, it actually creates space in the mind. So I really want to encourage everyone to try this out and practice it, and 2 to 3 times a day. It's less than a minute. And look for anything else to do anything that works for anyone, like
right.
What is it that helps you to switch off or calm down? Whatever it is, do it. People do know this, but they don't remember in the times at the time of difficulties. So we need to prepare ourselves.
Right.
It's like packing a backpack, taking things with us, and this is something that we should reflect on and think about. What is it good for me? How can I do more of it?
Correct. So to sum our today's conversation, Bogert, and specifically this topic, my last question to you would be, what makes a satisfactory life?
Well, I think it is doing what is not, doesn't mean having to do everything and all and a lot necessarily. You have to do what is right for you, to feel right, to feel in alignment with us. It's got to have to feel good. Okay, some things, of course, we can't feel good all the time. Well, if you are towards enlightenment, we can. But that's because we are not reacting, or we are kind of in a neutral state of mind where we are not going here, there, and everywhere. So it is, I think, to practice awareness and becoming aware of and honoring where we are and our choices, even with difficult times. It's what is good for me, and becoming aware of this. What is important? What feels good? Okay, do I want to go in this direction? What do I need for it to get better? Okay, this is not getting better. Is this direction good for me? And sometimes we don't know. And then we have to acknowledge that, okay, I don't now know. Okay, I will maybe pause. I need more time. I need to reflect on this. And that's okay too. Because satisfaction is not about productivity. It's not about ambition. I've gone through stages in my life where I'm very ambitious. And of course, I would never become a psychologist if I wasn't disciplined and wanting to complete. But later in life, that's not my goal. So it is also very much timing. Then we have to go through unlearning,
Right.
right? Because then I've also been at a point where I am wanting something, striving so much for something, an idea of something to happen. And then that becomes a problem because it's too much of a hang-up and clinging too much to it. So I had to totally let go of that. And then it came in ways that I could never have imagined. And my important things or changes in my life has come when I've let go and done things that basically say it in like a little bit of a cliche, follow my heart, which is, following my intuition and doing things that where I really didn't know where things would lead, or stepping into the unknown, doing something completely different. And that's where I think the magic happens. I remember a supervisor once said, you need to go with the left foot first, not the right one, or the right way, the opposite of what I used to. I didn't understand it at the time. It's many years ago, but I understand it now. So we have to do things differently also sometimes to really shake things up and get out of our comfort zone.
Right.
So there are many, many things we can do, but we have to be where we are, and that's the timing. That's where it's happening. So instead of racing ahead of trying to do something that may happen in 10 years, it's impossible right now. I say sometimes to people that, okay, you're going to take the lift or walk the stairs?
You've asked to me as well.
We have to walk the stairs. We can take the lift, but in this kind of work, we have to walk the steps.
Yeah. Cool. I think to sum it up in one line, I would say connect, focus, and flow.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Pocket.
My pleasure. Thank you.